Yet another press briefing.
The day Museveni captured the power. 11 days after Mubende, we went to Chotera, where Museveni and his son and wife were presiding over. You must have seen the son addressing Muzeyi and Mama as if they were in a family meeting. You saw that, you journalists, you are the ones broadcasting it. At a national event, the son is addressing Muzeyi and Mama. And shamelessly, the Muzeyi and the son went to inspect military parades. So 11 days after January 26, we are in Chotera celebrating yet another NRM-related day. Today, June 9th, the country again is trekking to Lyantonde to mark another holiday and a third national event about the same thing, the Luwero War. That today the country heroes, you remember they have written so much about this, that this, at the beginning, 1989, was in the memory of Lutamaguzi Muchibi, who refused to disclose the hideout of Museveni and got killed by soldiers of the Obote government. So since 1989, today I have been told, we are celebrating the 36th Heroes Day in the memory of Rutamaguzi and others who died in Luwero. Of course, progressively they have been picking everybody, including from street. So don't get surprised, man is going to be a hero today. They may have exhausted the list of Luwero, so they keep picking from anywhere. In total, Uganda is celebrating 3 days in a year to remember how Museveni launched, fought, and captured the power. The day he launched, we celebrated. The day someone was killed, we celebrated. The day power was captured, so we are celebrating 3 days. The liberation, the Tarehe Sita, and now the Heroes Day, about the same thing. So these useless public holidays are damn expensive for the country. In the budget this year alone, 5 billion was provided that in addition to giving medals, they also need now to be given. Yet in the same budget, Museveni did not provide for 7 billion, which is the last installment in development of a curriculum for A-level students. So the Uganda Curriculum Development Center to develop a curriculum for senior 5 students, about 1 million of them. But the country has money to organize an event. And on average, these events are costing us between 3, sometimes to 7 billion on average. Sometimes it's even more. There was a time we spent 11 billion on a youth day. And that's just that's the cost of the event. I will share with you the guidelines as issued by the government, the things that they must spend on: tents, food, transport, allowance. So there is a cost to staging these events, but there is also a bigger cost to the country, because URA, for example, Uganda Revenue Authority, whose offices are closed, on average collect 72 billion shilling per day, URA. So when you shut, you can count the number of public holidays we have had in a week. And then I will tell you we had a shortfall. They can have a shortfall, but what about people who are struggling with businesses? That your cargo arrived, but it cannot be processed because Museveni is in Lyantonde with Anita Amongo and Nabanja. They are celebrating Heroes Day. And that is the reason your cargo cannot be processed. And you're a businessman to make money to take your children to school, but you can't proceed. So we need to rethink these days. They must be meaningful, not to the leaders, but to the country. And one way, because even if Museveni wants to celebrate every day, consolidate these days into one: Heroes Day, Liberation, they are about the same thing, but you disaggregate them to keep the country moving from Chotera to Mubende to now Lyantonde. And all the government people are going there. They consume fuel. Every year we are spending 960 billion shilling on internal travel. 960 billion on internal travel. They have now filled their tanks. They have gone to Lyantonde. 960 billion. So we need to rethink. All these days we will close them once Museveni is out of power. We will continue celebrating Heroes Day, Liberation something something. You can see a real partying mood, parties in Museveni's state house. After moving around celebrating these unnecessary days, they are also in weddings. At 80, Museveni putting on a suit, and the wife at 75 putting on a gown that they missed a wedding when they were young. And to them, that's very important. We missed a wedding when we were young, and now there must be a wedding. And all government people with the red number plates in Ntungamo spending public resources that they have gone to attend Mr. Museveni's wedding at 8. The children are also celebrating birthdays. So there is a real partying mood in the State House under Museveni and his wife, something that they have discovered in old age, that we missed life, so we now must begin enjoying ourselves. So the whole country continues to wallow in poverty. The head of state thinks about partying. So that's why these days are thrown around for them to move around as if they are tourists. Finally, our leader, Dr. Kizza Besigye, today he spends his 200 night together with Ajobed Kamuregera in Luzira. Most of the people that these Museveni committees are picking for heroes are actually counterfeit. These counterfeit heroes that they are going to present. One such a true and real hero is Dr. Besigye. Dr. Besigye had a flourishing career, a medical person, flourishing career at Nairobi Hospital, which he abandoned to go to Luwero, to go and... We are not celebrating just his going to Luwero, but we are celebrating because Dr. Besigye has lived the ideals for which they went to Luwero. Which is the reason that Tibuhaburwa, presiding over functions miles away in Lyantonde, has kept him in prison. I don't know of anyone in the world who has been imprisoned the number of times as Dr. Kizza Besigye. He abandoned his flourishing career as a young medical doctor in Nairobi. He joins Museveni in Luwero. He begins tweeting them that Museveni nearly died in Luwero. He was being tweeted by both Dr. Besigye and Dr. Bata. He nearly died there. Now he's in Luzira at 69. Dr. Besigye is still struggling for Uganda at 69. While we may not have his courage, the courage of Dr. Besigye, we draw inspiration from his resilience. Even when you meet him in prison, I was in Luzira last week and other colleagues, he receives you with a smile as if he's not in prison. In Luzira, where Dr. Besigye is, he has his own prison where colonialists used to keep hardcore criminals. Because we arrived in the Maxon when when the rest of the inmates in the maximum security were playing football. But Dr. Besigye was locked up deep inside Luzira, so there is a prison within a prison. So that's where they walked him from to come and meet us. And after our meeting, they walked him back together with the Ajobed Rutare. So Besigye is not just a prison within a prison. And I think that's what gives Museveni satisfaction. that now Besigye, who has been harassing me for more than 20 years, now is in a prison within a prison. So the crime is to constantly keep reminding Museveni that you went to the world to fight for democracy, rule of law, freedom, and you diverted from these ideals. So our fight has not ended. That's the only crime he has committed. We salute you, Dr. Kizza Besigye. We will continue drawing inspiration from you. Now think about the thousands who died in Ruwero, because we are 500,000 people died in Ruwero. Why did they die? Fighting to ensure that Uganda is a free country, to ensure Uganda is democratic, and Uganda is a country that abides by rule of law. That's why people went to Museveni and his group go to Lyantonde to feast. The very reason for which they waged the war is exactly what is taking place in Uganda. People on orders of Museveni's son Muhoozi Kainerugaba, and as I said last week, he celebrates their pain that I have kept them in basements, I am beating them, learning how to box. And then you all have seen them limping. So the torture, the disappearance, the kidnapping of citizens, issues that attracted hundreds to go and join Museveni in Ruwero to fight, are taking place today as Museveni and his group drive to Ruwero to remind us that there are people who died in Ruwero. We are not just remembering people who died, because even here people are dying. So death is not something that we are going to keep remembering. The country should be remembering reasons for which people died and guarding not to repeat the crimes that were being committed by the state. The Museveni regime is a criminal regime, a regime that abducts and tortures them before they are presented before courts of law. This is a criminal regime. Otherwise, which sentence is Dr. Besigye, which court sentenced Besigye for him to stay in prison for more than 6 months? So which sentence is he serving? But because Museveni and his son says, you Besigye, you will stay in jail, but even in jail they must put you in a prison within a prison. So as I end, I want to repeat, continue celebrating Dr. Besigye and others who have sacrificed their lives, who in the midst of all hardships, they have remained steadfast. So once again, I want to salute Dr. Besigye and people who have fought and continue to fight to make sure Uganda is a free country. Before I summarize this in Uganda, I want to ask the Honorable.
Never, 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 we shall never, 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 sir. Our hero never, 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 sir. Freedom for all. Tuongere muko vibe. Kubanga bogamba never, never, chiba never surrender. Freedom for all. All for freedom. Ra. Cha. Never, never, shall never, never, never silent, never, 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 never. Dr. Besigye never, never, never silent, never, 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 never surrender. We shall never, cha, we shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Someday. Besigye will be free. Besigye will be free. Besigye will be free. So I do believe someday. Obed will be free. Obed will be free. Obed will be free someday. Obed will be free someday. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. Deep in my heart, I do be someday. Will be free. Uganda will be free. Uganda will be free. I do believe Uganda will be free. Freedom for all. All for freedom. Ra. Cha.
Take leave. Colleagues who have joined us.